This week we're going to be talking about death and the peace of the gospel. This is episode 20, week 31, Bury a Friend.
Welcome to the Missionary Life with Elder Jensen.
Sunrise. We saddled up at dawn. We awoke at 5 to mosey on down to the church to teach some youngsters seminary in their sophomore year. We went over Joshua 2 and talked about faith. At the end of class, every question they answered right, they got to cut a chunk of my tie off. There weren't much of my tie left by the end of class. Within the week, our fancy automobile became limited by the amount of miles it was able to traverse, meaning we needed new transportation. So we went to find me something to saddle up.
Oh, these are bugs.
And with that, we started riding on our silver steeds. This week, the topic of death came up a few times in our conversations. We talked to a young man whose father had recently taken his own life, and he wanted to know where his father had ended up. Another older gentleman was telling us about the fantastic life he lived with his wife and how he was excited to see her again. When death comes knocking at your door, the day takes a toll on you. Your shoulders weigh low. In that hole of darkness, there's a hand that lifts us up. The light and love of Jesus Christ pulls us up out of our sorrows. He reassures us that there is a tomorrow. Last week I challenged you to tell me how God loves you in just 5 words. Here's what you said.
Bob Jensen says, he gives me perspective. Scott Jensen says, Nicole Grant, Kennedy Reagan Roosevelt. Nicole Jensen says, God demonstrates patience with me. Rose Jensen says, God gave me a family. Jane Golightly says, God is love for me. The Elia family and Grandma says, he gives me countless blessings. Gave me people to hug. His hand has touched everything. We have families to love. We will all be resurrected. He will never forsake me. He gives me clear direction.
John 3:16 says, For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. John 5:25 says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and is now, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live. The gospel hits like a bullet, straight to the heart. When the Spirit of God touches you and tells you that this is true, you don't feel that urge to run no more. You don't feel that urge to keep hiding. This week I challenge you to tell a friend why you love them. All I want this week is a yes or no response as to whether or not you did it. And with that, we've reached the end. Previous episodes are linked below, and if you'd like to watch new episodes as soon as they come out, click the link below to join the weekly email. As always, I am open for comments or questions, of which I'll respond to next week. Remember that God loves you, and I love you too. Remember that we'll all ride together again. Till next time, partner.